Hey everybody, Kathy Gruver here, speaking to you at the School Wellness Summit. I am so happy to be here. I'm going to talk today about stress, building resilience, and just sort of making sense of this crazy world right now. So I'm going to go ahead and share my screen. So let me go ahead and do that real quick. Share screen. Beautiful. I hope you're all doing well. We are going to have fun today. And if you have any questions, please, please, please let me know. So welcome to Keys to Manage Stress, Shift Mindset, and Enhance Resilience. Now, when we're talking about resilience, we are all born with a certain amount of resilience to stress. This is also something that grows over time. This is also something that's sort of modeled and instilled in us through our parents and our teachers. It is something that we can change. We can shift to a resilient mindset. We can shift to a growth mindset. And I'm going to teach you a couple techniques today that will help with that. Now, unfortunately, because we've sort of got a truncated conference this year, it's not going to be quite as vast, but I'm hoping to be back next year to share with you some more in-depth information about all of this stuff. But I'm so excited. Okay, so this is the first slide. It is blank on purpose. It is not a clerical error. So what I invite you all to do right now, if you're in a safe place to do so, is please just close your eyes and take a deep breath in and out, and then open your eyes. Beautiful. Okay, easy. We could all do that. Now, I want you to do that breath again. But this time, what I want you to do is I want you to really watch the breath. I want you to observe it as if you were watching somebody else breathe. And here's what I want you to watch for. I want you to watch for where that inhale starts and stops. And then there's that brief pause at the top. And then where that exhale starts and stops. And there's that brief pause at the bottom. So go ahead and close your eyes and do that breath again, really watching it. Yeah, it's a little bit different, isn't it? It's slower, it's quieter. And when I'm actually in person, and oh, I can't wait to get back to that, I can see the shift in the audience, because when I say take that deep breath the first time, everyone kind of does this like, like they haven't taken a breath all day, maybe the first conscious breath in a lifetime. And the thing that's so important about this, and this is why this is one of the most important slides in this slide deck, is it is a pause. That breath is a pause. And in that pause, there's power, because there's a couple of reasons. It stops the fight or flight response. The second we have that fight or flight response, a couple things happen with our breath. Either our breath quickens, we start panting a little bit because we have to run away, or we hold our breath. And every once in a while, we take the sort of gasp fish out of the fish tank for air thing, which I've heard so many people in offices do. As soon as you concentrate on your breath and you slow it down a little bit, it signals to the brain that everything's okay. It also allows us time, and this, I love this, allows us time to decide whether we're going to respond or whether we're going to react. We want first responders, right? We don't want first reactors. We want we don't want to have knee-jerk reactions. Let's have responses. No one has ever said, Bob, you're really over responding. It's those reactions that get us in trouble. It's those reactions that cause us to snap at the spouse and yell at the guy on the freeway. Excuse me. The pause helps us decide that we're going to take the time to actually choose a response to the situation that we're in. And this helps us build resilience. It brings us back to this present moment. And in this present moment, there is no stress. The stress is behind us and things that we're remembering and dragging around with us, those very heavy chains, and that forward thinking of those what ifs. What if this stuff happens? What if, what if, what if? We don't know that those things are going to happen. Let's stay present, because in this present, there is no stress. And the fourth thing that this does is it acts sort of as a meditation, and it brings us back to the body and helps shut out other thoughts. Because as soon as you shift your focus to your breathing, to a physical sensation, to one of those mindfulness meditative practices, it actually pulls your brain out of the saboteur thinking and all that negative thinking and all that lizard brain that we don't want to be reacting from. So that is my favorite technique. And if you do nothing else, if you learn nothing else from this, this brief time together, pausing is going to be a huge benefit to you. And just taking a few moments. I remember my grandmother always said, like, take a deep breath and count to 10. Yeah, because that's the thing. It actually works. It does something. So take advantage of that. It's the simplest thing you can do to stop your stress. So thinking of stress, what is stress? It's a perception that demands are going to exceed our resources. It is a threat, real or imagined. And what I love about this definition is this idea of a perception. I do flying trapeze for fun. Okay. I find it relaxing. I think it's a mindfulness practice. Most people find that stressful, or they perceive going on a trip overseas as stressful. I love that sort of thing. So we have to remember that everybody has a different hardiness for stress, a different resilience for stress, and a different idea of what stress is. And I have to ask myself in so many situations, is that fight or flight worthy? If the boss comes to you on a Friday and says, I want to see you first thing Monday morning, does that ruin your weekend? Do you spend the entire weekend on that what if? Is that fight or flight worthy? You can't run from your boss, really. You can't attack your boss. Please don't do that. So when we're talking about this stress stuff, I have to ask, is it fight or flight worthy? And the fact that it's a perception, and stress depends on how we're viewing a situation. Stress depends on what we're seeing in that situation. So I have a question for you. So this is a beautiful painting by Octavio Ocampo. It's one of my favorites. How many of you see the vase in the center? And how many of you see the two old heads looking at each other? Yes. And how many of you see the Hispanic couple playing music and the woman coming out of the doorway to dance? I love this painting because we're used to seeing the two faces in the vase, right? But this one throws a little trick in there. And what's kind of cool is even if you glanced at the painting and saw one of them first, as soon as I explained to you that there were more there, you could see them. You shifted what you were seeing, and what you were seeing changed. Yes, what we are looking at is what we see. So if we spend our time looking towards the negative, if we spend our time focused on those things that are wrong, we are not going to see the other things. Right now, wherever you are, I want you to look around your space, and I want you to find everything you can that's red. Find everything you can that's red. Memorize everything you can that's red. That's orange, red, 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 red. Okay, great. Now close your eyes and try to recall everything you saw that was blue. I know. It's massively unfair. Go ahead and open your eyes. The blue stuff didn't disappear. It is still in your environment. You just weren't focused on it, so it disappeared. This is what happens. This is how to shift your mindset. When you're focused only on the negative stuff, you're not going to see the positive. You're going to miss all of the positive, amazing, beautiful opportunities that are around you. So let's continue to talk about stress just briefly. Excuse me. This is what fails when we're stressed. Sort of everything, right? Memory, cognitive function, we have a tendency to be reactive, not responsive. Our limit setting goes out the window. We take more dangerous risks. We're less patient. Our sleep, our food, our sexual response, all of this stuff goes out the window. This is not a good way to be an educator, a parent, a leader, a good communicator, a partner, any of these things. This is bad. We do not want to come from this place of stress. Here are some of the warning signs of stress. I'm not going to read them. Take a screenshot and you will have access to this presentation after this. So, but this is a lot. Now, of course, every once in a while, some of these things are normal. We all have moments where we don't sleep. I had a horrible night's sleep last night, not because of stress, but because a family of raccoons actually walked in my house at 3 o'clock in the morning and started eating the cat food. Adorable. And a little disruptive to my sleep. So a little tired. We get bored, we get anxious, maybe we have a little too much at a party, we get forgetful. We have that Calgon take me away moment. Oh geez, I'm dating myself there. But we all have moments when this stuff is true for us. And our bodies are amazing. They want to find homeostasis. So they make this stuff normal to us. I also work as a massage therapist, and I can't tell you how many times people walk in like this with their shoulders up around their ears, and they think, it's just normal. Of course I have neck pain. Of course I'm grinding my teeth. Of course I'm not sleeping. Of course I haven't pooped in 5 days. That's just normal. It's like, no, it's not normal. But your body has adapted to it, because if we felt all of this all the time, we would go insane. If you see these warning signs in yourself, in the kids you're teaching, in your coworkers, in your spouse, in your friends, this is a sign that something is wrong, and they need to help address how they're managing their stress. Do we want to stop stress? Absolutely. But stress ultimately isn't the problem, because we typically can't stop the stress. We can't control any of those things around us. The traffic, the government, the pandemic, All we can do is control our response to it. That's what we have power over. So to the extent that we can, let's control what we have power over. Now here, what to do about stress. Beautiful. Read the list. Get a massage. I think we're allowed to by now. I don't even know anymore. Meditate, pet your pet, do visualizations, any of the exercises I'm teaching you today. But here's the most important line, that in the red, learn to relax, whatever that means to you. I don't care what you do. If you want to do yoga, great. If you hate yoga, don't do it. I don't care that everybody says you should. You don't have to. Take a walk, go for a run. I hate running. It's not my thing, but it is a great stress reliever. And every once in a while, I put on the good shoes and I head out and I run until I can't run anymore. Do whatever you need to do to deal with your stress, because we value you. This is why we're doing this. I want you all to be at your optimum. I want you all to be resilient to stress. I want you to have a growth mindset, and I want you to have the healthiest, happiest life possible. This is why I do this work. Let's talk briefly about changing your mind. So it's estimated we have about 60,000 thoughts a day, and 50,000 of those are negative. That's a lot of negative thoughts. And it's that sort of thing where I just did with the blue and the red. The more negative thoughts you have, the more negative thoughts you're going to have. When we think something, two parts of our brain talk to each other, and they are connected for a little bit. And then when that thought goes away, that connection stops, but there's this little trail of dust that stays for a little while. I picture it sort of like the Milky Way. The more we think that thought, that theme of thoughts, the stronger that dust gets until it actually forms a connection. We're rewiring our brain. It's neuroplasticity. We didn't think we could do that. We thought our brain was hardwired in, but we were wrong. We can change our brains. So if you're thinking negative things, it's going to lead to more and more negative thoughts. Now, some of us are wired a little more that way. My grandmother was a very negative person. If somebody was 5 minutes late for dinner, she had them dead in a ditch. Dead in a ditch, not considering maybe they were stuck in traffic, maybe they got held up on the phone, maybe they left the office late, dead in a ditch. Now, I don't know why she thought that, because I did extensive 23andMe research. No one in my family ever died in a ditch. So I think she was making it up, but that was her go-to thing. She was sure something horrible was wrong. And I'm sure you know somebody like that. Maybe it's you, where everything goes to the most negative extreme possibility. Now, in defense of our brain, it's kind of looking out for us. So it kind of does that on purpose. It is warning us. It is constantly looking in our environment for things that could be wrong that we have to look out for. So we can rewire that. We can change that. I like using affirmations, because if I tell you to stop thinking something, it doesn't work. And for those of you who have tried to meditate, stopping thinking, that's crazy impossible, right? So let's shift that to affirmations. The key to affirmations is to make them short, positive, put them in the present moment, and repeat them often. So things like, I am healthy and well, as opposed to, I'm not getting sick. I hope I don't get sick. Oh no, do I look sick? Oh my gosh, am I getting sick? Don't get near me, you'll get me sick. Don't get near me, I'll get you sick. Studies support we can actually boost our immune system by thinking something like, my immune system is strong and resilient. I'm a total nerd for studies. So what my whole dissertation was on was how this stuff works. So some of my favorite affirmations: I am surrounded by supportive coworkers. My day goes smoothly and quick. Blah, blah, blah. I have plenty of time. I communicate concisely. I handle all issues with grace and ease. Now, I've had people ask me, yeah, I can see boosting the immune system. I can see relaxing. I can see doing these things that are in my control, but I am surrounded by supportive coworkers. What if I'm not? How is my affirmation going to change these things? Great question, Bill. It's always Bill. Our brain moves us towards those things that are familiar to us. It moves us towards those things that we know, right? This is why, unfortunately, so many women do stay in an unhappy or an abusive relationship, because to the brain, it's safer to stay in the known, even if it's horrible, than to move into the unknown. This is why we stay in bad jobs. This is why we stay with friends that we're like, I don't really like them, but it's just safer to be there. So if we start affirming what we want, if we start dreaming about what we want, if we start visualizing about what we want, our brain is going to start to recognize that as known. And it is going to help us move towards those things. This is law of attraction and what the bleep do we know and The Secret. That's what all of this is. Our brain doesn't recognize the difference between what we're thinking about and imagining and what's actually happening. This is why, as you remember all those horrible things that happened to you, you're actually having a physiological response. And your brain is going to look for more of that thing. So if you start affirming, I am surrounded by supportive coworkers, or I am effective and efficient, your brain starts to recognize that as true. If you go into a situation with your coworker who you can't stand, and you go into that situation the exact same way you have always gone into that situation, do you think you're going to get a different result? No. So if you change your attitude, because really this is all we can change is ourselves. Oh, how I wish we could change other people, right? Just give me 10 minutes. we can solve all the problems in the world. We can only change ourselves. So if you shift your perception, if you shift your attitude of how you go into these things, people are going to eventually respond to you differently. It's about changing your perception. It's about looking at the blue things and the red things at the same time. It's about seeing the whole picture. So to the extent that we can change ourselves, we start to feel better. Our stress level goes down. We're going to be differently responding to those things around us. So that's how that works. I'm learning to relax, Doc, but I want to relax better and faster. I want to be on the cutting edge of relaxation. Okay, I teach this stuff. I was a horrible meditator. I was terrible at it. I'm a dancer, so don't tell me to sit still. It drove me crazy. I'm from the East Coast originally, so I talk fast. Obviously, sorry to all you California people who are like, slow down, lady. I'm also trying to squeeze so much in a short amount of time. So I talk fast, I walk fast, I eat fast. My brain goes a mile a minute, like every 3 seconds, just like everybody else. My brain has something really important to tell me. And if it doesn't have something really important to tell me, it makes crap up. Like, let's be honest. So people throughout my life were like, you should meditate, you should meditate, you should meditate. As a side note, any sentence that starts with you should, please stop saying, because it immediately makes people tune out. It's a command. It's makes it seem as if they're doing something wrong. Have you considered meditation? Have you ever thought about meditation? What about trying meditation as opposed to you should? Because that doesn't go well with anybody. So I had these misconceptions about meditation. Perhaps you hold them as well. I had this thing that you had to sit a certain way. I had the sitting part down because I was a dancer. I could do that. And you had to touch your fingers together, right? But I wasn't sure which one. And I didn't know if you touched the wrong one, you like got sucked into an alternate realm. I don't know. It kind of scared me, like a video game. Yeah, it's weird. And then you rolled your eyes back in your head and you looked back here somewhere, but your eyes were closed, but it always gave me a headache. So I didn't like that at all. And you slowed your breathing down. That seemed weird. I'm slightly asthmatic, so the wheezing, yeah. And then you blind touch your brain, right? So easy. And then if it itched, you couldn't scratch it. And if it cramped, too bad. And then you floated away into a million bubbles. Oh, and your tongue went somewhere in there. I don't know. And I was horrible at it. And if you're horrible at it, why would I do that thing, right? So I found myself trying meditation and failing miserably every single time because one of two things would happen. I'd get on the pillow, cross my legs, easy peasy, and I would pick a finger, hope for the best, and I would start. Okay, shh, shh, shh. Quiet, quiet. Shh, stop thinking. That's stupid. Stop thinking. God, you suck at this. This is stupid. I have so much other stuff to do. Okay, shh, 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 shh. Quiet. Oh, you got it. You got it. You got it. Oh, no, wait. I'm thinking about thinking. Crap. That can't be right. A car alarm? Are you kidding me right now? Car alarm? There's a car alarm going off. That's really loud. Is that my car alarm? Oh, crap. Do I even have a car alarm? I'm in LA. I should get a car alarm. Oh my God, I want a whole new car. I want a Beamer. I want a blue Beamer. Oh, I want an X5 because then I can fit the massage table in the back. And I really should stop doing massage, but I'm going to have to keep doing massage if I want to buy a Beamer. So, oh my God, a blue Beamer X5. And I could drive along the beach. And like 20 minutes would go by and I'd have this whole fantasy about how I'm going to get this car and drive to the beach, right? Familiar? Or I would do this. Oh, I got to call that guy back. And I would relax my brain enough to remember that I had to call that guy back. And I thought, oh my gosh, as a triple Capricorn, anal retentive, type A, control freak Capricorn, if it reminded me that I had to do something on my list, oh, very, very exciting to me. So I started to do this every day. It was my to-do list meditation. And I got very excited. I'd sit down, it would remind me to do things. I'd jump up, I'd do that thing. And I started telling people about my to-do list meditation until finally one woman went, I don't think that's what it's for. Oh. So when I found myself sitting at Harvard, I learned how to truly meditate. Now, if you're a formal meditator, this is going to seem not right to you. There are multiple different ways to meditate. This is just one. This became my gateway to formal seated meditation, and I'm going to teach it to you right now. So there are 2 steps to meditation. When she said that too, I got excited. I thought, oh, I hope sitting is one, because I got the sitting part down. It wasn't. So focus on something repetitive, and when thoughts move through, dismiss them without judgment. when thoughts move through, not if, because every 3 to 5 seconds our brain is going to tell us something so important. But here's the thing with this. If thoughts come in, simply acknowledge them without judgment, without criticism. It's totally natural. You're not failing. It's okay. Brush them away. Because the more you push those thoughts aside, let them float away, you're building resilience. You're building mindfulness. You are strengthening that muscle. Remember how hard it was that first day in spin class or yoga class or Pilates or hip hop or trapeze. It's hard that first time, but you get stronger and stronger every time you do it. It's just about practice. So I'm going to teach you the mini meditation the exact same way that I was taught at Harvard that day. So please, everyone, close your eyes and just concentrate on your breath, the rise and fall of your chest. And you're not trying to change it or slow it down or speed it up. You're just watching it. And on your next inhale, think, I am. And on all of your inhales, think, I am. And on your next exhale, think, at peace. And on all of your exhales, think, at peace. Inhale, I am. Exhale, at peace. And when other thoughts intrude, it's okay. Dismiss them without judgment. Let them float away like clouds on a summer day. And return to the inhale, I am. Exhale, at peace. Be gentle with yourself. It's a practice. Inhale, I am. Exhale, at peace. Let the thoughts fade away. Let the thoughts fade away. And if it itches, you can scratch it. You can let your shoulders drop. You can relax your belly because no one's looking. And let's go ahead and take one final inhale, I am. Exhale, at peace. And open your eyes and come back to the room. You did it. Yay. I'm so proud of all of you. That is the simplest meditation you can do. Actually, concentrating on the breathing is a pretty simple meditation. But if you have time, just a minute or 2 minutes before you get on a phone call, have to have a tough conversation, go to see your boss, discipline a child, whatever you have to do, take the time to do this. It brings you back to that present moment. It stops the fight or flight response. So all those things that stress did to us, this helps reverse it. This is my favorite technique. I do it every day. I did it before I got on the computer here with you guys. I do it throughout the day. I've taught this to probably millions of people at this point. Simply inhale, I am, exhale, at peace, and dismiss those thoughts. It trains us to be present. And we choose what we're looking at. And I love this painting because the guy on the left is like, what? There's an outside? Yeah, it's what we focus on grows. What we look at is what is going to manifest more in our lives. And the more you do those affirmations and that breath work and that meditation, the more you are going to find yourself present, grounded, handling those things that are thrown at you better in a better way. That's what the point of all this is. Some people look to meditation for spiritual enlightenment and for grounding and for centering and for whatever path you want to take on that. But in the everyday world where we have to deal with a little bit of chaos and a little bit of unknown, or a lot of chaos and a lot of unknown, these techniques, these are tools that you can use, and these are great to teach to kids. They love doing the mini meditation. They love being so involved in something with mindfulness. And something else that you can do is, if you don't have time to do the mini, and you don't have to close your eyes, you can be in any physical position you want, just take 10 seconds and rub 2 of your fingers together so lightly that you can actually feel the ridges on both those fingers. 10 seconds of that starts to shift you out of that negative mindset into the part of the brain that is sort of your inner hero that helps you sustain the strength that you need to get through the day. And finally, I'm going to be on the right side of the bus. I hope you'll join me looking towards the positive things in the world. And I can't wait to be back with you in person, doing a more in-depth, longer version of this talk, teaching you, a couple more techniques, answering your questions in person. If you have any questions, I know we're taking questions today, but here's how to contact me. I have books available too. We'll talk about that first. So I have books on my website. Workplace Wellness and Conquer Your Stress at Work are great for what you guys are doing. The Conquer Your Stress at Work is just the 5 techniques that I teach. You learned 3 of them today: the breath work, the affirmations, and the meditation. Conquer Your Stress with My Body Techniques, about 40 techniques, and Journey of Healing is everything I know about natural health and wellness. If you have any questions and you don't want to ask them in this forum, totally get it. Here's how to reach me. There's my phone number. I'm local here to Santa Barbara. KathyGruver.coach. I do one-on-one coaching. I would love to help you in any way that I can. KathyGruver.com. If you want to learn more about my speaking, if I can help you in any way, please, please, please reach out. Kathy@KathyGruver.com is the best way to get a hold of me with any questions, or if I can be of any service to you at all. I'm going to stop the sharing to say goodbye. I hope you enjoyed this. I'm so happy to be here with you in the way that we can in this crazy world right now. If you have any questions about anything, please, please, please let me know. I truly am here for you and want to help in any way that I can. So be well, breathe, and know that everything's going to be okay. I'll catch you soon. Thanks for watching.